What's going on, guys? This is Michael MGF, and today is very exciting because all of these Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Minecraft, Scooby-Doo, Jurassic World, practically every set coming out from now up until early August has been unveiled at New York Comic Con, and just like we do every year, FBTV has provided us with a ton of crystal clear images of every single set, so huge thanks to them. Link to their website will be down in the description below. They are always awesome when they go to New York Comic Con every year and provide with this many images of all the pretty much practically every set that LEGO has to display there, which is super awesome. And we even have a ton of new images of the Age of Ultron sets, which are just coming out now this past week. And so this is really exciting because not only are we getting our two Ultimate Spider-Man sets, which I have to mention, the minifigures in them are fantastic, but we're actually getting a Ant-Man set, which could indicate that LEGO actually adjusted their already existing contract with Marvel so that they're not only restricted to making one lineup for one Marvel movie a year, but they can apparently make an extra set for another Marvel movie, which means next year, for example, we could get sets for Captain America Civil War, and then we could get like a one Doctor Strange set, if that's what that means, because that's certainly what it looks like right now. We don't obviously know. Maybe somebody at LEGO could clarify, but regardless, I'm not showing off the box art in this intro right now, or actually in this video in general, because there is a confidential logo as part of the box art's design, which is slightly worrisome, which is why I'm not going to include it in my video. But once again, you can definitely check out FBTV down in the description below, and they've got the box art there on their site. But yeah, guys, there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot of things being revolutionized with minifigures starting with these waves. So without further ado, though, let's get into it. Alright, another reason that I blurred out the box art for the Ant-Man Final Battle is not just because of the confidential sticker LEGO made a part of the design for the New York Toy Fair display, but also because there is a massive spoiler in this set, if it is true, which means the rumors were true about this, and so that's another reason I'm not showing the box art, but I'm going to put up some spoiler markers so that you know where it starts and where it ends, because I'm going to devote a few seconds to just talking about that character and what that minifigure entails, and then I'm not going to talk about it from that point on. So once again, you will see some spoiler markers displayed on the screen, but yeah, so starting off, we've got Ant-Man, and the reason that I showed you guys my Ant-Man helmet on my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram early is because I don't actually know if I'm going to end up using that helmet or not, or if I was going to end up using this. And you can see that this minifigure's helmet is really fantastic. It's just there is one problem, and that problem is they made the mouth area hollow, which is completely inaccurate. I don't know if that was to make it seem a little bit more accurate to the comics, to maybe do some justice to that version of Ant-Man, or if it's just so I don't know, makes the minifigure seem more friendly so you can see his smile. I don't know, but they made the mouth area hollow for whatever stupid reason. It's like we have a fantastic Yellowjacket minifigure, which I'll get to in just a second, but then the Ant-Man helmet is not exactly right or correct in every way, which it could have easily been. So I'm still deciding if I'll use my own custom Ant-Man helmet that you guys saw from my showcase video in July, or if I will just use this one and modify it. I haven't decided yet, but I have to say, aside from the fact that it is hollow in the front there, the rest of this helmet's design is fantastic, and just like the Sith Inquisitor from the Star Wars Rebels set, we actually have some transparent red overmolded pieces inside there, so it's not just a mold of light bluish gray, but we also have separate molds for that red color that you see in transparent red, and so that's really, really exciting. Now, I should also point out that the torso and legs you're seeing on Ant-Man here are not actually Ant-Man's. So the torso and legs you're seeing are actually a part of that spoiler character, and once again, I'm not going to spoil who that character is, so whoever was at Toy Fair seemed to have mistakenly swapped out the helmet and head onto the wrong minifigure, so the spoiler character in these photos actually has Ant-Man's body and legs. So I want to point that out right now. The torso and legs you're seeing do not belong to Ant-Man, but you will see them with the spoiler character, which I'll get to in just a minute. But Yellowjacket, I should point out there is some really nice backprinting on Ant-Man, which I don't think I have a photo of, but regardless, Yellowjacket is really fantastic. I have to really hand it to LEGO. They really exceeded my expectations with Yellowjacket. I honestly wasn't expecting them to make an entirely new helmet mold, not even mentioning the fact that they did the same thing that they're doing for Ant-Man and the Sith Inquisitor, and they've got some transparent parts molded into it, and they're obviously transparent yellow with additional printing on top of that. and this entire mold just looks absolutely fantastic and exactly what I was hoping for from the LEGO group, and that's definitely pretty awesome, because that means I won't have to sculpt one for my own custom one, but instead I can modify this one, because this entire minifigure looks really awesome. And you can see LEGO obviously did not miss an opportunity to include stud shooters, because for his robotic arms they've got stud shooters planted on both ends, and you can obviously tell his robotic arms are made up of just the basic hinge pieces that we all know and love. And then you can see he also has the continuation of his wings on the top there, made with a slope and one 1x2 transparent yellow plate. And then the torso printing and leg printing, which we really can't see all that well, still does look really fantastic with all the detail that it has to offer, along with all the little hexagons that we've got going on in there. It all looks super accurate to Corey Stoll's Yellowjacket and his Yellowjacket suit that we'll be seeing in Ant-Man. So I mean, this entire thing looks fantastic. I won't be doing the same thing for my robotic arms when I make a Yellowjacket figure down the line. I've already got a few ideas, but regardless, for what I would expect from the LEGO group, they exceeded my expectations with Yellowjacket, and I think it is a fantastic minifigure. We can't see the head yet, so I don't exactly know what to say about the head, but I should point out that the head on Ant-Man really destroyed me on the inside, because I don't know why LEGO thought this was necessary, but for Scott Lang, we've got Ezra's head from Star Wars Rebels. They put Ezra's head on freaking Scott Lang. I mean, I understand budget cuts, but why? Why? A 14-year-old kid from an animated series, that is not Paul Rudd. I mean, Paul Rudd, I'm pretty sure he's either close to his 40s, no, he's in his 40s already, and it's like, you give a 14-year-old character, at least I believe that's how old Ezra is in Star Wars Rebels, I honestly don't care. They give that head to freaking Paul Rudd, who's playing Scott Lang, such a famous character from the comics. Really? I mean, I understand budget cuts and why they think it might somewhat look like Paul Rudd, but no! No! I'm not having this. Like, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see that, but the ant included with this set is definitely pretty freaking fantastic, because once again, I'm gonna use some photos here that blur out the minifigure until I'm ready to talk about it, but you'll notice that the ant we've got going on here, it does have some interesting colors to it, like we're seeing not only just blue, but also some red and white in there, which is kind of strange, but regardless, the design is still fantastic. You can see that the legs appear to be fully articulated based on what we can see, and that is really awesome. Then you can see it's on the top there, you have a 2x2 available space for the minifigure to sit down, and that's really awesome to ride this massive ant. And you can see that the wings are entirely, and they're an entirely new piece of thin plastic that they've got going on here, with its own array of printing on each wing, and they attach obviously onto a few Technic pieces, which it appears to be, and that is really awesome. This entire ant design looks really fantastic, and we were told, based on these rumors, that this set would basically be trying to imply that they are pretty much in the size, they're pretty much, all these minifigures are the size of an ant when this set is taking place. So basically what you're seeing is we've got a bunch of regular pieces making up the image of smaller pieces, and so on the top there we've got a set of 2x2 plates, round plates, and then 2x2 round tiles on top of those. I can't tell if those are printed, the LEGO logo is printed on the top there, or if that is a sticker, but it is still a very cool concept to give you the idea of the scale of this set. So when your general person is walking by in like Toys R Us and they see this set, they're gonna be like, oh, that makes sense. You know, you have it, this set is based around Ant-Man, and you have some massive LEGO bricks, because obviously they're really tiny, and I think that is awesome. Now, obviously an ant wouldn't exactly be that massive in comparison to LEGO pieces, especially a 1x2 plate and a 1x2 brick, or a 1x1 brick, because ants are definitely not that big. So when it comes to the scale of the ant in comparison to the actual LEGO pieces, the massive LEGO pieces, the scale is not there, but that's okay, because the minifigures in this set are still fantastic. And also, what's really cool is, personally, I have not seen these blue ant molds since the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull sets in 2008 when I was starting on YouTube, so it's really awesome to see these again for me personally. Once again, I don't know if these have been in any sets since then, but seeing them in dark blue is definitely pretty awesome. And yeah, so now this is gonna be where I start the spoiler characters. So I'm gonna put up the spoiler tags right here, and then you guys can pretty much skip to where they end if you do not want to know who this character is gonna be included with this set. So spoilers start now. Okay, so in this set, we've got Hank Pym. Now, I mean, what Kevin Feige, the main thing Kevin Feige has said about Ant-Man is that it's a passing of the torch film, which means we're not going to be getting the standard Hank Pym and Hope and Janet Van Dyne like we get in the comics fighting with the Avengers, but instead we're going to get, you know, Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, Janet's daughter. And so, I mean, I don't understand how Michael Douglas is going to be in an Ant-Man suit, but apparently that's what this set implies, because that torso and legs that you saw, they had mistakenly on the Ant-Man figure, and the helmet that you can see on Hank Pym, who is sitting on the ant, it's apparently like an anti-version of Scott Lang's suit. So what this implies is that either there's going to be a massive twist and Hank Pym is going to, for whatever reason, totally going against the comics, turn out to be a villain, and I mean, maybe potentially fight Scott Lang, or he's going to get in his own Ant-Man suit and help Scott Lang fight Yellowjacket. So I mean, we don't actually know what's going to happen, but basically what you're seeing on this Hank Pym minifigure is obviously there is a different head underneath that helmet, but for the most part, this is the exact same minifigure as Ant-Man, just in basically all red and black colors. So it's practically the same design too. So it's not exactly the same. I kind of take that back. It is slightly different, but it is the same general concept, just less detailed. So that is definitely very, very interesting. You'll notice with these photos as well, this does give us a really good look at Scott Lang's torso. We can't really see his legs, but we can see Scott Lang's torso, which once again was mistakenly put onto this Hank Pym minifigure here. And so the torso and the back of the torso for Scott Lang look absolutely fantastic, and now I know I will not have to paint my own for my own showcase video, because I assume my Ant-Man video will probably once again be an upgraded showcase video. I know I'm talking about that a lot, but that's pretty much what I'm seeing with these minifigures, just getting tons and tons of ideas from this. But yeah. So that's pretty much it for the Ant-Man Final Battle, guys. It is a fantastic set. This is where the spoilers end for future Ross, who is editing this video. But yeah, and in this set we also do get a little, you know, like macro size screw. It would be considered macro size in comparison to the minifigures, obviously, I guess. But yeah, so one thing I do want to discuss before we close out this segment of the video is that this could potentially mean that LEGO has adjusted their contract with Marvel, and that now we can get not sets from just one Marvel Cinematic Universe film a year, but also we can get an extra set from another Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that would release that same year. Now, either this has been a part of LEGO's contract with Marvel the entire time, and they just haven't acted on it, or they have just adjusted their contract with Marvel, and now this is apparently a thing, because it started in 2012, we only got Avengers sets. They did not make any set, because there was no other Marvel Cinematic Universe movie coming out in 2012, so we just got Avengers sets, and then in 2013, we only got Iron Man 3 sets, no Thor 2 sets, and then in 2014, we did not get any Captain America the Winter Soldier sets, but instead we got Guardians of the Galaxy sets. But then this year, we're not just getting Age of Ultron sets, but we're getting this set, and that's really freaking exciting. So I mean, this means that maybe next year we could get Captain America Civil War sets, and then like a Doctor Strange set off to the side, and that's really awesome. Hopefully LEGO continues to expand their contract with Marvel if that's what they're doing here, and if that's what made this possible, to allow for more Marvel Cinematic Universe sets based on more Marvel Cinematic Universe movies every year. That would be amazing. But anyway, this Ant-Man set is going to be retailing for $20, and it's going to be coming out in June, so I would definitely expect it around the middle of May, right after Age of Ultron comes out, so definitely be looking for it around that time. But fantastic set, definitely love it, and I cannot wait to see what that spoiler actually means for the film. Next up, we've got our first of the two Ultimate Spider-Man sets, and this is the smallest out of the three Marvel sets, releasing from June up until August. And so these two sets once again come out in August, while that Ant-Man set comes out in June, so that is really exciting. But this set, oh my god, I love everything about it. There's only one thing I dislike, but still it is kind of awesome. I'll get into that in just a second. But oh my god, this $12.99 set is debuting Miles Morales and Carnage in the same set, and they both are fantastic. Their designs are fantastic. Their printing is fantastic. I could not ask for more when it comes to a Miles Morales minifigure and a Carnage minifigure. LEGO has pretty much met my expectations, if not exceeded them, with these minifigures, because you can see right now, we'll start off with Miles Morales, his design is fantastic, and I mean, the entirety of it is really awesome. And a slight little detail to point out, there's actually 2 shades of like light blue and white within his eyes. It's not even a base color. Absolutely love little touches like that LEGO has been doing with their minifigures recently. And then on the back of the head, you'll notice we have the same webbing that we usually have on Spider-Man, printed in red, which is really awesome. And then it's just really fantastic to see all of this design really work out, because it's obviously a base color of red printed onto black, and therefore there is no fading, which is really awesome when there probably easily could have been. So that is really freaking exciting. But what is fantastic about this set is easily Carnage. Carnage himself is absolutely mind-blowing to me as a minifigure. I mean, not even eBay sellers like Christo print their minifigures like this. I mean, this is not only is the design really awesome, but the amount that LEGO was able to print on is fantastic. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said fantastic, but that is definitely the word that I would pair with this Carnage minifigure, because he has printing on his torso, on his belt, on his legs, on his toes. He's got printing on his arms, on the front of his face, obviously on the back of his face. I mean, the entirety of the design work just came together so well for Carnage as a minifigure. And then obviously in terms of like the vines attached to his back, it's pretty much what appears to be the same concept as Venom that we had a couple years ago, or I think that was like 2012 or 13 that we got that set. I don't remember, but regardless, this minifigure would definitely top Venom in every which way. I mean, the design, like I said, phenomenal, and there is even printing on the back of the torso, even despite the fact that it's all covered up once you have that back piece attached with all the vines. So I mean, oh my god, Carnage is officially a minifigure, and LEGO has done it perfectly. I don't think I could have asked for more. So then we've got a SHIELD agent. Now, a lot of people, after his absence in the helicarrier, were expecting that this minifigure was going to be Agent Coulson. Now we've found out it is not. Again, LEGO passed up another opportunity to put a Coulson in a set. They could have easily thrown him in the helicarrier. They didn't. They could have easily thrown him into this set, because I know Coulson has been on this TV series. They didn't. I mean, I give up. I don't think we're ever going to see a Coulson minifigure at this point, unless it's going to be a polybag, because LEGO seems to be passing up the opportunity every single go-around. But regardless, the minifigure suit is actually based more so on the SHIELD agents that we see in the comics, which is super exciting. I don't know if they actually wear these sort of outfits in the show. I don't watch it, but it does look fantastic for what it is, and especially very exciting for fans of that outfit that SHIELD agents wear in the comics. Like, I know my buddy Josh, Sergeant Customs, he's definitely very excited about this. But yeah, other than that, very basic helmet. We've seen that helmet God knows how many times over the course of LEGO sets for like, what, the past 20 years. I don't even know when this mold was introduced. But yeah, then the back of the torso, it looks equally as fantastic, having the continuation of what we see on the front with these straps and the utility belt. It looks really awesome. It's just, God, why was that not Agent Coulson? It's like, God, they had so many opportunities that they've passed up to put him in a set. But yeah, you'll notice we do have these standard stud shooters on this vehicle, and it appears to be like a sort of SHIELD air vehicle. I don't know if this is actually in the show or not. Definitely let me know down in the comments. But regardless, for what it is definitely pretty nice. Featuring the posable wings, which have like the turbines in the center, which appear to be a sticker. And then we have a sticker on the front of the cockpit, which I guess is sort of like a HUD for the pilot to look through. That might be put on wrong. I mean, wouldn't that be in the center or like in the interior of the cockpit? I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. And then we have the SHIELD logo along with what appears to be like, I guess, a serial number in a way, or just like a number for that specific vehicle on the top there for that sticker. And overall, this looks like not only a great pair of 2 minifigures, but for a $12.99 set, we get a pretty solid vehicle. And there is actually a crate in there as well, along with a pair of joysticks for the minifigures. So I guess that SHIELD agent in there has something of value to Carnage that he's trying to retrieve. So that's pretty awesome. Then we also have that weird gun that was introduced with the Alien Conquest sets that LEGO just cannot let go of, that we're getting in this set as well. So I mean, that's okay. It's just I cannot wait for the day that LEGO makes a new gun, a new gun mold, and finally lets go of it, because man, it has gotten old so fast. I mean, I think this mold got old for me like I don't know, 2 years ago. But yeah, overall for $12.99, I would say this is probably the best $12.99 Marvel set that we have ever gotten. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic and exceeds all of my expectations. We do get a Super Jumper in this set and the Ant-Man set. I know, guys, I haven't exactly been mentioning them, but I figured it would be kind of obvious. But yeah, guys, there you go. You have the Carnage SHIELD Sky Attack. This entire set is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, there you go. For our final set of this analysis video, our second Ultimate Spider-Man set releasing in August, we've got our $50 Rhino and Sandman super villain team-up set, and my god, this set, while the premise of it and having basically, I would have to say that structurally, this set is ridiculous, but I mean, for the minifigures, my god, is this set awesome, because not only do we get a Spider-Man now with overmolded boots, but we've got the debut of the Iron Spider minifigure, Sandman, and Alexei Sitsevich in his Rhino suit, which I have to point out is ridiculous. I'll talk about that in just a second. But Spider-Man, I have to talk about for a minute here. It's the exact same Ultimate Spider-Man minifigure, same head, same torso, not talking about that. What I am talking about are the legs. Now, back last year when the Simpsons house came out in the collectible minifigure series for the Simpsons, LEGO introduced overmolded sleeves, where pretty much they have the arms now, which are two molds. You have the top half of the mold, which acts as the sleeve, and then you have the bottom half, which acts as the rest of the arm. And that really revolutionized a lot of things for minifigures, and they have continued that trend ever since. And now LEGO is introducing that for legs. Minifigures' legs are now going to have overmolded boots, so we're going to have the top half just basic standard color, and then the bottom half is going to be overmolded to pretty much match that of the color of their boots, and it looks amazing. And I should point out that's not printing. That is exactly the same thing that we've gotten with the sleeves, and that is now being introduced for minifigures' legs. Those are two separate molds that have been attached to these minifigures' legs, and that is fantastic, because I don't know how LEGO does it, but the transition from the two molds is just so seamless, and it just works so perfectly. And I'm so glad that LEGO's introducing this with not just Spider-Man here, but just a ton of DC minifigures that I will be going over in the next video. So hopefully we're going to be seeing this trend continue, because man, it really does revolutionize a lot for LEGO minifigures. So this is very exciting news. And then the next minifigure that we have in this set is the debut of the Iron Spider. And I mean, we knew that this minifigure was coming in this set, but I didn't think it was going to look this good. I mean, honestly, it is pretty simple. I should point out, it's not exactly the most complex design, and obviously it wasn't exactly the most complex thing for LEGO to print, but regardless, it still did turn out really nice for what it is, and just having the debut of Iron Spider in general is really exciting. And also the arms. I have to say, the arms are really nice. They are the exact same pieces that were used on the minifig scale Ant in the Ant-Man final battle, but they are still really nice for what they are, and they serve the purpose of being the Iron Spider's arms, and they are all attached to a 1x4 modified brick with studs on all four sides. We've all seen that piece before. And then the back printing with all of that removed, you can see, is really nice with some added detail in the center of the symbol. So overall, very glad to finally see an Iron Spider minifigure, and it looks pretty great. And now Sandman is, like I said, is the premise for this set. Now I have to say, it's not exactly what I would call the most exciting minifigure in the world. It looks actually quite a bit, not exactly the same, but pretty close to the minifigure that we saw D. Bradley Baker voiced in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. But you'll notice that the head, I don't think that's a new head. I'm pretty sure we've seen that in some Lord of the Rings sets or some Hobbit sets. I don't follow those two lines, but I'm pretty sure we've probably seen it in one of those two sets. It's just, it doesn't really look new. But if I am mistaken, be sure to let me know down in the comments, but that just doesn't really seem like a new head, because it looks kind of familiar. But the torso printing, you can see, is really nice. I love how they have some sand splattered on it. It looks pretty cool. And obviously the premise of this set is just the stereotypical, they're trying to steal a gem, go figure. But and he's got that in his hand. But the back printing for Sandman is pretty similar, with the continuation of his belt, and then obviously the continuation of the sand splattered all over his shirt, which is pretty cool. So other than that, it's got this basic hairpiece that we saw him use in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, and he looks like a pretty nice minifigure overall. Great to finally see Sandman in a set. And then the next minifigure is actually currently inside the Rhino, and that is pretty much the dude who pilots the Rhino himself, Alexei Sitsevich. And I have to say, man, LEGO did another budget cut with this minifigure, but I have to say, it's not as bad as Ant-Man, because I mean, the clone head, the live-action clone trooper head, kind of looks like Alexei Sitsevich. So I mean, I'm down with this, and I'm actually okay with LEGO repurposing this head. This is actually fine by me. And the torso printing for Alexei here is really nice as well. I absolutely love these straps and buckles that LEGO has going on in there to simulate the fact that obviously he's locked into this Rhino. And then you'll notice on the back of Alexei Sitsevich, we've got the continuation of those straps and buckles, which is pretty pretty nice. But a lot of you guys have been comparing this to the Rhino that Legoholic built for my Amazing Spider-Man showcase video last year, and I can see why, because this is obviously, like, you know, the first time we're getting a brick-built Rhino in a set, and personally, honestly, I would have preferred a big fig. I really would have, but unfortunately, we're getting Lexi Sid Savage piloting a Rhino suit, and Lego, you'll notice that not only are all the legs and arms completely attached to a bunch of ball joints, but also we've got some stud shooters attached to the wrists, which is pretty cool. We saw something similar for the Hulkbuster in the Age of Ultron sets, and so with everything close together, you can see it's kind of okay, and the head appears to sort of protect him, so it does sort of make sense that he wouldn't just get shot in the face like he would in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 when he opened his cockpit in that film. But I mean, you've got a couple studs in there acting as the eyes, and I mean, while yes, it is sort of similar in concept to what I had Tyler build for my Amazing Spider-Man 2 showcase video, it is definitely not the same and kind of strange, and I do not really like the addition of the white pieces. I really think they should have stuck to all light bluish gray and all dark bluish gray, but personally, I'm not fond of this design. It's okay, and it'll work for kids, but for people like you and I, it's not going to work for us. But yeah, so moving on though, you can see the set itself is pretty interesting because, I mean, you'll notice that we've got the entire premise, as I mentioned previously, pretty much all devoted to Sandman, and so pretty much what we've got going on here is Sandman is rising up through some sand. He's pretty much covered this entire construction zone, or whatever you would call this, in sand. He's encased the entire environment in sand, and you can see his hands are coming up from on both sides of this set, and that's pretty awesome, pretty much indicating that he is pretty much taking control of this area, which is pretty awesome. And now we've also got a crane on the top here. I can't tell if there's actually any sort of playability feature other than it looks like it has the potential to rotate, and then also you can have that little boulder descend from the very tip of it, so that's pretty awesome. Now I should point out there are a lot of stickers on this set. I mean, we've got a sticker on pretty much every chemical tank there. We've got stickers on the floor there, which look like footprints sort of for Sandman. I mean, just a ton of stickers all over this thing, and it looks to be like a mine maybe, because you can see down in the corner there we've got even more gems that I guess Sandman and the Rhino are after. So I guess, like I said, that's the premise of this set. Sandman is trying to go for some sort of gem, or if not gems. And other than that, like I said, just a lot of really cool details with stickers and everything else that are being included here. And then you'll notice that we've also got a couple of, I should point out, it's sort of like it's a couple of like Technic rods that appear to either hold the crane in place or allow it to move. I don't know which, but still pretty awesome regardless. And obviously the hands that Sandman has rising up on both sides of this set are articulated, so you can grip onto any minifigure. So for playability, that is pretty awesome. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I can't really see any other playability features to go over with this set, but it looks pretty awesome, and it has a pretty wide variety of stickers, not just on the set itself, but also on the Rhino. You'll see that there is a number 77 on his shoulder, but I mean, other than that, though, guys, that is pretty much it for this set, and it looks pretty awesome. I would have preferred that it be $40, but obviously it is $50, and that's okay. It's not too big of a price difference, and yeah, there you go. That's pretty much it for all three sets in this lineup. Once again, the two Ultimate Spider-Man sets will be debuting in August, while the Ant-Man set will be showing up in June. So I'll just keep that in mind. And yeah, Rhino and Sandman supervillain team up has some problems, but still an awesome set overall. So glad that overmolded boots are now being introduced to LEGO minifigures. Like I said, it really does revolutionize things for LEGO minifigures in general. So yeah, guys, now we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this pretty extensive analysis video. Alright guys, and there you go. That pretty much does it for this analysis video on the LEGO Marvel superhero sets coming out during 2015, and all three of them look really exciting. I mean, yes, there were the minor nitpicks that I had, but definitely nothing that would sway me from wanting to get each and every one of these sets, because they honestly are really nice and really do revolutionize a lot for minifigures, from, you know, the fact that we have really fantastic printing on Carnage's arms down to the overmolded boots now being introduced to minifigures, and also because it appears that Marvel has adjusted their contract with LEGO, and now we could potentially see more than just, you know, a bunch of sets for one Marvel Cinematic Universe film a year, and we can get an extra one for another film that comes out that same year. So hopefully that'll be a thing next year as well. But I'm really glad that we're getting a Marvel Cinematic Universe Ant-Man set, because it looks really fantastic. And also, I do want to mention that there is going to be a Green Goblin minifigure debuting in the Juniors Marvel set. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be reviewing a Junior set, so it kind of sucks how I won't be able to go over the debut of the first ever Green Goblin minifigure that isn't the crappy Ultimate Spider-Man Big Thing weird design. And also, I mean, it's been pretty much the first Green Goblin that, the first minifigure Green Goblin that we've had since the 2001 set. So that's pretty freaking far back. But yeah, guys, so if you enjoyed this analysis video, hell, if you survived it, be sure to let me know by dropping this video a like below, and definitely drop your opinion on this set, on these sets down in the comments if you have something to say, and or if I made a mistake, because usually when it comes to these analysis videos, I tend to do so. So yeah, you can also follow me on the Twitters, the Book Faces, and the Instagrams. Links to all three of those are down in the description below as well, and there I post all kinds of behind the scenes photos and preview photos of minifigures that I'm working on, such as 10 Age of Ultron minifigures, which I will be debuting on April 30. I almost said 31st. I keep saying April 31st. I'm still getting you. Every year I keep thinking there's a 31st in April, but on April 30th you will see that showcase video along with a bunch of Minecraft figures that I'm working on off to the side. All of that you can see over there. Hell of a lot sooner than I will be posting it over on here. But yeah, guys, so that is pretty much it for this analysis video. Thank you for sticking around, and I will catch you in the next one, which I think will either be the Star Wars or the DC set analysis video. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll catch you guys later. Alright. Bye! New York Comic Con has just first Ant-Man set, which will be coming out. I don't know the price. Gosh damn it. And there's a lot to be excited about with the minifigures, because I don't even know what I'm talking about. That does kind of spoiler what they're wow, I can speak. We've got pictures from FD. Blah, 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 blah.